Welcome back to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with today's guest, but first, let's hear from our podcast sponsors. We want to thank our good friends at Gipper for their support of the podcast. Go to Gipper.com and start seeing how athletic directors, coaches, and schools create custom branded content for their school social media channels. You can do it in seconds on any device, and you don't need any design experience. As I like to say, it's so easy, even I can do it. Go to Gipper.com and start creating world-class marketing content. That's Gipper.com. We also want to say thanks to Final Forms. Final Forms is the industry leader in registration, but they're more than that. They're a team, they're technology, and they provide schools with compliance, communication, and risk management solutions. Final Forms helps your stakeholders with things like mobile accessibility. They have reminders for parents about policies and physicals and all the forms that go with athletics. Final Forms can also help with team communication and attendance, and even risk certification management for coaches. For athletic directors, Final Forms can help with eligibility, with rosters, and all the reports that come across your desk. You know, it's time for you to talk to a team that's walked in your shoes. To take the next steps and find out what Final Forms can do for you, go to finalforms.com/Jake. That's finalforms.com/Jake to get started with the Final Forms team. We also want to thank our good friends at Hometown Ticketing, the trusted leader in digital ticketing. Hometown Ticketing helps thousands of schools and organizations across the country seamlessly provide convenient digital ticketing options for their communities, their families, and their fans. Hometown Ticketing is the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. And you can find out more about what Hometown Ticketing can do for you and your program by going to hometownticketing.com and talk to their experts. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. We also want to thank Huddle. Remember, at Huddle, we power sports. Over 200,000 teams use Huddle to elevate the performance of their athletes using video and analytics. Huddle's the complete performance platform. They've got online tools, they have smart cameras, they've always had analytics, but there's so much more. Huddle's built for every level of play, from club and youth teams all the way through high school and college programs, and even the pros use Huddle to help their teams play at the highest level. You're in pretty good company with over 6 million users, including your student athletes and the coaches of the teams you're trying to get to recruit them. If you want to find out more about how Huddle can help you in your program and how your school can become a Huddle school, go to huddle.com and talk to their professionals. Remember, at Huddle, we power sports. We also want to thank our newest partner, SnapRaise. Go to snapraise.com and find out how their fundraising platform can help you. Better fundraising makes better programs, and you can depart from the fundraising headaches of the past. Snapraise.com is the best fundraiser you can find for you and your group. The SnapRaise digital fundraising difference, it's easy and effective, it's safe and secure, and you can track participation and progress. My coaches have used SnapRaise and they just love it. Go to snapraise.com and check out the thousands and thousands of dollars that they have helped raise for schools and programs on the testimonials on their website. That's snapraise.com. Change your fundraising game plan and check out snapraise.com. We also want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you're really missing out. Talk to the folks at Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Their surveys give the 95% of the players and the parents who really love your program a voice, and it helps demonstrate the importance that a positive athletic experience has for them. Go to athleticsurveys.com, or you can email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. Again, if you've never used a survey to find out what your parents or student athletes are thinking, you're really missing out. Talk to the folks at Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack and let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. We also want to say thanks to Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. they're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. They've got a variety of interactive touchscreen video consoles and an entire library of templates to help recognize the athletic achievements of your students, both past and present. Let them help you showcase your school's diverse history and your proudest moments, and go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. You can also email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. That's sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. Let them help you bring your school's legacy to life. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive. Sideline Interactive's indoor scoring tables and video boards not only raise money for your department, but they also help create the ultimate game day experience for your student athletes. Go to sidelineinteractive.com or call 832-786-0302 to schedule a live web demo and see their tables and boards in action. You can also email them at sales@sidelineinteractive.com and see exactly what their fantastic products can do for you. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom. We've got a really cool guest today, Dr. Cathy Utzschneider. She is part of Boston College Sports Leadership Program. She's got an incredible resume. She's an author. She's a lecturer, has a tremendous athletic background too. That's a whole different show. But she's also the founder of Move, and that's what she's going to share with us today on Wednesday Wisdom. But first, Dr. Utzschneider, welcome to Wednesday Wisdom.
Hey, Jake, thanks so much. I think your series is fantastic, and I'm honored to join.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You come very highly recommended. Dr. Patty Robbie Keller suggested you'd be a great guest. And again, I'm very intrigued looking at your resume, but let's jump right into it. I think you were going to share with our listeners today about Move, what it is, and maybe why they should be interested in it.
Sure, absolutely. So if you're an athletic director, if you're a coach, if actually you're a professional of any kind, and you want to help an athlete, or you're a coach yourself and you want to get certified in the goal achievement method, or you want to help a student, or you want to help yourself, I created a goal achievement method that really helps people be the best version of themselves. And the method is grounded in physical goals. That is, people set short-term physical goals every 6 weeks. And the method, it's been used by D1 coaches, Olympians, regular people, people who are just starting out in a sport. It's been going for 30 years. It's exploded because there's nothing else like it. And anyone listening is welcome to get in touch if you're interested just in learning more. People who become either use the method or they become certified in the goal achievement method join an extraordinary community. And it's extraordinary because while everyone's going for an athletic goal and perhaps also a professional or a personal goal, because the method it's universal. You use calendars, you have once a week meetings every week with your client. But our community consists of, let me just think, an NFL coaches, Olympic triathletes, Harvard lacrosse coach, BC soccer coach, orthopedic surgeon, therapist, psychologist. It helps people, coaches or business people, set up a practice that's easy to implement, that helps the clients very much. And it helps them financially. It helps both the coaches, the practitioners who use the method, and it also helps the clients. So it's a win-win. And it's the fact that it's universal has been that it can be used for, high school athletes all the way up to professional athletes, and that it's used sometimes for 6 weeks because it's based on short-term successive goals, but sometimes for as long as 25 years because people keep making progress. There's no BS with it. You get concrete results that you see and you track them in a calendar. You might say,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, well, you might say, I'm continuing to talk, but you might say, well, Cathy, how did you come up with the method? So it's based on two things mainly. One is I did the only doctoral dissertation on national and over 100 national and world-class athletes. They were runners, in fact. And the focus of the dissertation, which was done at Boston University, was on theories of excellence and goal achievement through the lifespan from high school on up. And the goal achievement deep dive that I have given TED Talks about, referred to in commencement addresses, has been so easy, so simple to understand, and it works. And then the other piece is I learned about it from my own experience, both coaching in my practice and my own experience as an athlete myself.
Yeah, again, I'm very intrigued by your website, and you talk about on the website. You talk about the PACE program for that cynical athletic director that's listening to this and saying, why
Sure.
should I be interested? Can you give us a kind of a walkthrough of how it might, how it plays out? And again, let's be honest, we want that athletic director to go to your website and sign up. So how does it work?
So let's say you're an athletic director and you say, I'd like to learn this goal achievement method, A, for myself, and B, for my coaches. So, and they may say, I may want to get certified in it. First of all, they get 9 lectures covering everything from how to set up a consulting practice to theories of excellence, to the physiology of performance, to techniques of positive psychology that you learn to be your best. And they're all lectures that have been given at the master's level at Boston College for the 17 years that I've taught there. So they learn all these topics and they learn how to set up a business so that they might say to some of their coaches, gee, I'm using this to be a more effective athletic director, to figure out, what are my priorities? What do I want to achieve in, let's say, have a vision first, a year, then break it down into small successive goals and 6-week goals that you tweak. You have a once a week meeting. It would be with me or another Move coach. And you have to go through 9 sessions of meetings to get certified. And then you coach someone yourself. You get coached, you coach someone yourself. You read the book Move, and then you answer some simple questions. But you learn how to identify your own goals, which can be, as an athletic director, which can be hard in a world of distraction. And 2 things to know is, people actually, I've just realized this over, I don't know, the last few years, people are really afraid of goals because they say, oh my gosh, goal setting means I have to achieve 1 point on the bullseye. Not so with Move. It's about welcoming failure and learning from it. Because when you set the goals with Move, you set a series of, there are 2 things. You set goals in terms of ranges. So let's say you want to set a walking goal to be very basic and you haven't been walking, you're out of shape. And Well, instead of saying, I'm going to walk, 10.5 miles every week, you say, I'm going to walk 8 to 12 miles in a week in 3 to 4 days. And you're very specific about when you're going to do it. And that's a very, very basic example. But that example is really important because it teaches you both how to set range goals for yourself, whether you're trying to meet a budget for your the whole athletic department, whether you're trying to hire coaches. It teaches you how to approach anything and be able to succeed, but at a reasonable pace. It's not pressure, which is why I refer to the goals of the goal achievement method being PACE. And PACE stands for perspective. You have to, if you're setting a goal as athletic director, you have to think, well, wait a minute, what is my family doing? What else is going on in my life? So MOVE is based on physical goals with an understanding of the whole person, which is why so many high school athletes have been coached to use it to get into, to be a successful collegiate athlete, because their parents have been thinking, gee, I would like John or Sally to balance their academics with their social life, with their athletics. And yes, they're getting coached in lacrosse or track, but the lacrosse coaches focus just on lacrosse skills, track just on intervals. They're not asking about what's going on in the rest of someone's life. So this successive, the last E, PACE, P, perspective, A, achievement, calm for in PACE for the C, you actually are less pressured. And E is ultimately excellence, which you achieve based on theories of excellence, just focusing on tiny little goals, being patient, and having someone support you through the process in once a week meeting, track what you've done, give you feedback, support, and adjust the goals when you have to. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes perfect sense. And again, you kind of alluded to it a little bit. The kids have the coaches hopefully have the athletic director, but who's got the athletic director? How are they going to, get coached or get help? Really love the way you break it down too. And also we always complain, we coaches, ADs, about, the kids are, they're fearful of coming out. They're fearful of failure. And, that same thing can apply, that same mindset can apply to, an athletic director. Well, gosh, if I set that goal, I might not achieve it. I might fail. So I might fail. So I love the way you talk about the small goals, the incremental steps. Doctor, it's one thing for somebody to come on and just say, well, I've got this great thing. I wrote this book or I did that, but you've got some pretty impressive results to back it up, both on athletes that you have coached, as well as yourself. Can you share a little bit some of those results? I'm giving you permission to brag about some of your accomplishments here.
Something my mom told me never to do, but you're asking me. You're not my mom.
We're sharing those results.
Yeah. Well, so what I found is that I started running late in life. I was a collegiate athlete, tennis and squash particularly, but Division III, but they didn't have running for girls either in high school or college. So I always knew I was fast. My father was very fast, but he never got to run. And that's another story. He was Jewish in World War II, and he would have been in the 1936 Olympics with Jesse Owens in the 100 meter, and he couldn't do it. So when I was finally, in midlife at 40, and I found out there was such a thing as running, I thought, this is finally my chance and my father's chance. So anyway, I had some speed, I knew that, and New Balance sponsored me. And anyway, years later now, I've I've been ranked number 5 in the world. I've gotten a silver medal at the Nike World Games. I've been a 10-time age group champion. I've taken on swimming too. I love racket sports. So I'm no longer running after 25 years, but I am doing paddle tennis and pickleball, and I'm doing master swimming. And so it's endless. But I think the piece that you bring up that's so interesting is that many kings and queens of their castles, athletic directors being kings and queens of their castles, they're the people who want to get certified with Move because they don't have that support. And it's the opposite of going to a therapist where you're looking back and sort of making your way from reverse to neutral. Move is about going from neutral into 4th gear to the highest gear you can without pressure. And therefore, many people who are, CEOs or orthopedic surgeons, they want Move because they want to feel that they can be their best, and they know that anyone who's their best has support and structure that can meld with the rest of their lives. When you get certified with Move, it's not an all-consuming process at all. It's something you can fit in very easily because Move is about achievement with life balance. We don't believe in obsession or goals that are excessive. So you do need patience, and you need to have respect for those short-term goals. But all the theories of excellence support Move, and there's nothing else like it in the country.
Well, again, I've had the luxury of going to your website and seeing what it's all about. And for listeners, correct me if I'm wrong here, that's movegoal.com.
With an S, Move Goals with an S. movegoals.com.
Okay. If one of our listeners wanted to, reach out, let's say beyond the website and maybe pick your brain a little bit more, what's the best way that they can get in touch with you?
They can email me, and my email is on the website. I think it's www.movegoals.com. They can email me on my personal address. I have no problem with that. Some do, I don't. And just ask me questions. They don't have to want anything in particular. They might just want to know something about it, and that's fine. They have curiosity, and anyone with curiosity is going to learn and grow, right? And so forth. And they'll learn about a huge network, which is fantastic. We have speakers all the time, and it's great.
Oh, no. Again, listeners, I encourage you to go to the website, and that's Move Goals with an S, movegoals.com. Check it out. Got a tremendous coaching staff, advisory board, and it's all put together by our guest today, Dr. Cathy Utzschneider from Boston College. Doctor, thanks so much for being with us today on Wednesday Wisdom, and all the best moving forward.
And Jake, thank you so much, and love to see all the people that you're gathering as speakers and listeners. Thank you.
Oh, no, thanks for joining. And Cathy's going to be joining our Wednesday Wisdom team, so she'll be back in a few weeks with another great nugget. For listeners, we do this every week, and the Zoom recordings of all the interviews get uploaded to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We appreciate you listening today. Come back next Wednesday for more Wednesday Wisdom, and just about every day for the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next week. Once again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for their support of Wednesday Wisdom and the Educational AD Podcast. We want to thank SnapRaise. The right fundraising platform is critical for your success, and snapraise.com allows you to do that. It's safe and secure. It's easy to operate. You can track participation, and they work. Our coaches have used SnapRaise, and it was just fantastic. Go to snapraise.com and check out the testimonials. See the thousands of dollars that they have helped other schools raise. Snapraise.com. Also want to thank Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. They sponsor the AD Toolbox segment of our regular podcast. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com and find out how they can help you in an easy, affordable way tap into that information, that data that only comes out in a survey. Most of the results are going to be positive, but it'll also help you identify maybe that squeaky parent or maybe that coach that needs a little extra help. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. Also want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. I never got a chance to use Hometown because I retired before they really came into vogue, but I've talked to hundreds of athletic directors and they all swear by Hometown Ticketing. Go to hometownticketing.com and let them help you bring your school into the next ticketing era. Also want to thank Final Forms. The FIAAA uses Final Forms as the official registration platform for our state conference, and they're just fantastic. They'll help you monitor eligibility, physicals, coaches certification, and you name it. All the forms that come across your desk. Go to finalforms.com/Jake for more information. Also want to thank Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. Their indoor video consoles for school records, for Hall of Fames are just fantastic. They're so versatile, and the customer service is also fantastic. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com for more information about their great products. We also want to thank Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle. As an athletic director, we were a Huddle school. Our coaches just loved the ease of operation for the cameras, the programmable nature, the video and analytics, obviously. Go to huddle.com and talk to their pros about how your school can become a Huddle school. We also want to thank Gipper. Go to gipper.com and find out how to create world-class marketing content for your school's social media channels. It's so easy, even I can do it. The video backdrop that you're looking at right now is a Gipper template. We also use Gipper to help announce our podcast episodes, and you can use Gipper for all the announcements that come out of your department. That's gipper.com. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor scoring tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and see exactly what their fantastic products can do. Our school is one of the first in Florida to have a Sideline Interactive indoor score table, and it was fantastic. We use it for home games, of course, but we also use it for pep rallies, for signing ceremonies. Another company who has tremendous customer service. Go to sidelineinteractive.com for more information about their great products. Once again, we appreciate you listening to Wednesday Wisdom. Come back every week for more Wednesday Wisdom, and just about every day for new information on the Educational AD Podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.